bitch. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with a get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my at the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Angry and fresh with these. When I was down out of so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gets around him. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 67 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Going for the big one, and they got it done.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Opening drive touchdown, and 2-point conversion.
Amazing nowadays for the kickers. I've actually talked with a few of them. They're more concerned about the point after touchdown than actually missing regular field goals. So maybe the coach is taking some pressure off here and just going for 2 and saying, I'm saving you for the big stuff later.
He's hanging out by the net. Time for the Tennessee Titans to get the ball, and Marcus Mariota will be under center. He's now 4 years into his NFL career, 27 and 28 as a starter in the regular season. 45 touchdown passes his first 2 years, Charles, but what do you make of this? Just 24 the last 2 seasons.
And a big part of that, his inability to stay healthy. And you and I both know that no one tries to get hurt. He's had some bad luck along the way. But because of those injuries, has not been able to play up to his potential. And right now, they need him on top of his game for them to make a run at the playoffs in 2019.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Mariota now. To the right side, complete to Taylor. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the 2nd straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a big play, Roethlisberger to Brown, 62 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell. Nifty move. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Fights through, and now a crease. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there? Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Third and long here for Mariota. He dumps it off for Henry. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
With it is Brown. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Got a second here to assess Pittsburgh's last season as their offense comes onto the field. You know, for most of the folks that are fans of the Steel City, they're probably saying, wow, this was tough. But, hey, they were 9-6-1. The thing is, expectations there are playoffs every year.
You're right. And to show that, they haven't been under 500 since 2003. It's a very consistent franchise. But remember how the season began. Le'Veon Bell once again holding out. They expected him to show up and play. That didn't happen. Then at the end of the year, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. What's going to happen there? So they bookended their season with controversies. In the middle, did not play up to their standards. I still thought they were going to...
And this is caught inside the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Well, Derrick Henry, he wound up finishing 7th in the league in rushing, 1,059 yards. But, gosh, he got nearly a quarter of those in Week 14.
Yeah, it took a while for him to get going this year and the Titans to get going utilizing him because he was averaging less than 40 yards a game until Week 14 and then finished with 585 yards in his last 4 games. They wanted that type of production throughout the season. So going into 2019, the word for Derrick Henry, consistency.
Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Right there, 54 Mike.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger, escaping the pressure right. And he connects with Vance McDonald. Gets through and now an opening. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the Sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack. And a big loss in yardage. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. A screen to Bell. Room to run inside the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Big Ben with his fourth touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Charles, big picture for the Titans. That's 3 straight years now at 9-7. And, of course, this past year had the Colts on their home turf with a chance to get into the playoffs. Could not get it done. So a little bit of disappointment going into the offseason.
Certainly. They were number 8 overall on defense. So they played better than expectations there. But the offense really struggled, especially in the passing game. Just number 27 in passing in the NFL. They've got to get Marcus Mariota healthy. They've got to get him throwing the football downfield and connecting. And they need to get Derrick Henry going faster in the running game. He came on late, but the early part of the season, not up to par.
Mariota now on second down. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you. Because you always want to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point put through by Boswell. And a rout is on here in this first half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oak. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now a first down carry by Bell. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And the Titans are going to recover the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also, it may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things. And
for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. So we reach halftime here in the... And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm, and we always think of short.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Mariota to throw it. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he hits his man, Matthews. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
2nd down, Mariota. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, 65 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And got his man complete. He's at the 30, 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 97 yards. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
But we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This is taken at about the 14. Dances by him. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Roethlisberger. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
He's going deep. It's caught inside the 25.
Boom.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 66 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable. Back now in Pittsburgh, Well, the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Going underneath for Lewis, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mariota. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 35 yards. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing is Mariota. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A 1st down throw for Mariota. And his throw here's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cameron Hayward in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Got some room at the 30. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Mariota on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time. That'll bring up second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it. One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they? I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there. Now a desperation throw deep down, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 24, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, They've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0, Zilch.